you are here, we are here, this church is here, and this communion exists because we believe that Jesus of Nazareth has shown us the way to community.
What does it mean for me to be an Anglican today? To be an Anglican for me means to be part of a worldwide family, a very different family, and yet one family. It also is important to me that within the Anglican tradition, there is such huge variety, and that makes for a wonderful sense of belonging.
So what does it mean to be an Anglican today? First of all, I'd love to say that, like every other Christian, I really want to follow Jesus Christ. I want to base my life around the way in which he calls me, and I respond to that call particularly through the ministry of reconciliation in the Anglican Church. I love being an Anglican because we are in 165 or even more countries, and that means that we hold many, many different points of view within our communion.
Walking together in the midst of deep disagreement is about, first of all, being willing to continue showing up for one another. There were times during this process, I think, when all of us felt like it would be easier just not to come back. But we did. We came back together. We continued to reach out to each other, to allow ourselves to be vulnerable with each other. And along the way, we became friends, and that friendship helped a lot.
When Western Christian Anglicans travel to the Global South, and when Global South Anglicans travel to the West, they begin to see the different contexts for ministry and faith and moral discernment. It isn't always easy, nor does it often result in agreement, and we don't always have to agree on everything.
There was a point in September of 2018 where it was sort of a heartbreaking day for me, where I learned that this cohort would not end up in a place of agreement. And I think heartbreaking is the only word that I can use to describe the feeling. I mean, I was heartbroken and I was devastated because I had this naive thought that we might come to an agreement, and that was not going to happen. But I think there was the hope in that is that there was a moment where we were all asked if we still wanted to continue this work, even though I think we were all fairly heartbroken. And everyone said yes. And we've been choosing to say yes ever since then.
I think the key to listening in the midst of deep disagreement, especially in the kind of conflict that's about a theological or cultural issue where our perspective on seeing the world is really what's at stake, I think the key in those moments is to listen not for the content of a logical argument, but for the emotion behind what's being said. What are you feeling? Are you lamenting? Are you scared? Are you sad? Because often, actually, when I'm standing across from you having this conversation, I'm feeling those same things. And I think then when we're able to listen for shared lament or shared anger or shared grief, we can find that common ground to, instead of standing opposite one another, come alongside one another, even in the middle of conflict or disagreement.
Witnessing in the midst of deep disagreement is finding Christ in each other and recognizing that, and then turning outward to the world and saying, here's what we've done. Here are a group of people who are so different and on opposite sides sometimes, and in deep issues of faith and humanity. And we have come together and found that we love each other, and we cannot walk away from the table. It is my love for them and my friendship with them that keeps me at the table, even though it's really difficult.